Balls hurt.
Welcome to Ball and Chain Podcast. This is episode 156. Today is March 19th. I'm Max Born again. I have with me, it's my angel.
Hello.
What's happening?
Not much.
Not much, just nothing at all.
My eyeballs feel like they could bleed.
Awesome. That's not a good thing. Luckily, it's almost bedtime, so you can close them shortly. Yay, bedtime. So we're here to talk about some video games and kind of talk about what we've been up to lately. Last week, if you remember, Angel was a little upset to find out that this computer right here, could not run
the new Sims.
The new SimCity.
So what I do?
Yeah, what did we joke about you doing, and what did you actually do?
I actually did it. I went out and bought a new computer.
Just to play The Sims. But
it's a wonderful computer.
On a non-related note, we did end up getting Dead Space 3 for free, which is awesome.
It's not non-related, it's side-related. It's related to The Sims because Sims EA decided because the launch was so terrible that they anybody who had registered and played The Sims on their Origins account or Origin, whatever it is, account would get a free copy of the game. It opened up last night for North America. I think they had 6 titles that you could get. They were Dead Space 3, Mass Effect 3,
Battlefield,
Sims 4,
Battlefield 3, Sims 4,
Plants vs. Zombies, or Zombies vs. something or other.
Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies, Bejeweled game, and
Bejeweled 3.
Need for Speed game.
Yeah. So none of those I was particularly all that interested in. So we let Mox decide which game he wanted to play.
Well, and I don't know, I kind of wanted to play, I want to play Dead Space 3, but I wanted to play...
Which is what you downloaded.
Right, which is what I downloaded. I haven't played Mass Effect 2, so I definitely didn't want to jump into Mass Effect 3.
Or 1.
Or I have played a little bit of 1.
Oh, did you?
But I do want to get, I know I want to get the collector's edition for the Mass Effect series and play them all straight through on the 360 and get the achievement points. I've played 1 and 2 of Dead Space. Battlefield is fairly old, and Battlefield 4 is coming out in early 2014. So there's no sense in jumping on that this far late, and with it being an online multiplayer shooter, might as well wait till the new one comes out and start fresh there. Plus, you got Call of Duty, play that. So, Plants vs. Zombies just didn't seem like a very, I don't know. It's not my type of game, I guess. Same with Bejeweled. So, I'll probably end up replaying Dead Space 3 on the 360 for the achievement points at some point in time, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully your computer can run it. We actually didn't even look at that. I didn't even think about that.
No.
So,
it should be. I wouldn't see why not.
We'll see. We will see.
Okay, my computer's awesome now.
Yeah, so your computer does work really well. I'm not really sold on Windows 8.
I haven't figured out how to close your applications, your mail application and your photo viewing application and things like that. I don't know how to close them because there's no X. It just opens up full screen.
They've done away with the whole start menu thing, and they really haven't done away with it. They just made it the bottom corner. So you drag your mouse to the bottom corner, and that's your start menu. Or you can drag it to the top one, and it's got your Windows panes and your all your other.
Well, your start menu is on the very far right of that, where all those apps are. You go to that start menu screen where you have all the apps. It's got the mail and all that, and you go to the very far right, and that is the start, because it says start, and that's where you can put your icons for your games and things like that.
At any rate, I wish I could turn it off. I just want. I don't know. It's just. I'm reluctant to buy a laptop or whatever with Windows 8 on it. I don't know. I like Windows 7. I really enjoy Windows 7. So I don't know. It's definitely different.
It is very different. It does feel like it meshes well with I don't know, everything. I feel like technology is really starting to come together. It seems like it's really easy. You plugged it into the TV and it automatically sent the audio through the TV, which was something my old laptop did not do.
Well, that's just a difference in the HDMI stuff.
Well, but I mean, I think like technology's advancing so that things work together. Like you pull up, there was I forget what it's called on my computer. I've not played with it enough, but it's supposed to easily connect. Like it found all of our Xboxes in the house.
Right.
You know, it's supposed to be able to find your phones and basically just very
easy
much
connectivity.
Easier, yeah, for anybody to kind of get in there and figure out how to link all of your systems and gaming devices and things together. So I like that.
Okay.
What?
No, I didn't say anything.
I think it's just cool.
I'm just not used to I just now I'm getting started used to the window panes on the Xbox, and with the controller it's really easy to navigate which one you're looking at. But with the mouse, you're moving them, you're operating a small little cursor and trying to select each one of those big panes. It just seems really weird, like here's this huge ass button. Here's your huge ass button to push, and I don't know. I don't know. It seems funky to me. I don't know.
All right.
But the computer is really nice. It is nice.
And Best Buy actually talked me down to a cheaper computer.
Well, right, because you wanted something that would be able to play games on, and something with a graphics card, not something that was built into the motherboard.
Well,
and I think that's what was wrong with this one.
Actually, no. Apparently, AMD is a higher, like they support separate graphics cards. Intel is pretty much all integrated graphics cards, as opposed to AMD, which is separate apparently. So anyway,
didn't know. Who'd have thunk? So I think he just fed you a lot of crap. Just to get
no, I've heard that from other people. Actually, that was somebody else who told me that. I forget
okay.
who.
All right. Well, so let's see here. We'll talk about what we've been playing.
SimCity.
SimCity. We'll talk about. I know you want to talk about that in your segment. But we played some.
Didn't I just have my segment?
Huh?
Nothing.
We talked about we played Call of Duty 4. Not Call of Duty 4. Black Ops 2. There we go. God, Call of Duty 4. Whew, that's a long time ago. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. We played that with the clan a couple nights ago. That was a lot of fun. Got some gaming in there. Really haven't, besides SimCity, really haven't been playing anything else.
We got on with a bunch of people last night.
Right.
Or 2 nights ago, or whatever that was.
That's what I just said.
Oh.
Good job on listening on that. Rock
Sorry. It's like my bedtime.
All right. Well, I mean, if you want to talk about, because you wanted to talk about SimCity, right? And your new computer.
And the Harlem Shake.
Okay. Well. Okay. Talk about
the damn Harlem Shake.
That is not entertainment. I am not entertained by that.
You'll be entertained when you see me doing it.
Oh,
Wouldn't you find that kind of silly?
We'll see.
Yeah, apparently it's Medical Billers Week, and I work in the billing and records and reimbursement department. So it's Medical Billers Week here in a couple weeks, as well as some kind of medical records week of some sort, and also Don't Come to Work If It's Not Fun Day. So we're going to be having our celebration of our records and reimbursement department on that day. So I think this Friday, actually, we're supposed to be videotaping our department doing our version of the Harlem Shake and sending it out to the company as like a surprise kind of thing on that Don't Come to Work If It's Not Fun Day in celebration of us. So anyway, that's my little...
If you ask our employees that don't come to work if it's not fun day, it would be every day. They don't... Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so that's my segment on that. I'd never heard of it before. It's kind of interesting. I really don't understand it myself either, but I think it will be kind of fun to do and watch us acting dumb. Anyway, we talked about my new computer, SimCity. Really, we talked about the connectivity issues that they had last week. Really, I haven't experienced any problems at all in playing the game once I got it on a computer that would run it. I think there was one lunch hour I got on, and there was a waiting room or whatever to get into the current server that I was playing on. But other than that, I haven't had any other issues. city size is really limited.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was kind of underwhelmed about. I was like, oh wow, this is nice, like nice graphics, and then like I saw like, oh, there's the edge line, okay, oh, there's the other edge line. Really? And I haven't. The one thing that I've noticed, haven't really found a way to like change the landscape. Like you can't raise and lower the landscape like you could in past SimCities, where you're like, oh, I want, my super rich to be up on this mountain, and everyone else, all the peasants are down,
Yeah, there really isn't a way of doing that. This one's more, and I think one reason they did reduce the city size is that it's more about working within regions, which you didn't have really in the other games. That you just had your map in general. Now you have this concept of a region, which is more or less like a county, or a state, and you've got each you can choose different types of regions, and each region contains a certain number of cities. So the one we're currently working in has 5 city plots available. There are some with as many as 16 city plots available.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they do range, and there's some with as few as 3. So really, and the reason they want you to have that online is so that you can work with people online, other friends or people you don't know, to kind of influence the region as a whole. But one of my coworkers also purchased the game, and he's been basically claiming all the plots in the city and in the region, and trying to get the region to act almost as a whole city. So having like more like residential, and kind of trying to balance the importing and exporting from one region to support another, and
It's an interesting idea. I think that would be difficult because you'd almost have to like ignore some of like the alerts that go on, like if you don't have a fire department, because I know you can send fire and ambulances to other regions or whatever. So like you would have to like ignore like some of the alerts that say like, oh, you need a fire department, or you need fire departments coming from other regions. That's what you're wanting to do.
To some extent, yes, but I think still, like, I don't know if one region can have enough, or one city can have enough firefighters
for everybody.
If you have a large city, right? The bigger your city gets, the more like self-reliant you need to be, I think, on those type of things. It is easier to start up your second city once you have a first city kind of going, because when your second city is small, it can rely on the firefighters and police department of other cities. But once it grows bigger, you kind of need your own. Rely on yourself a little bit more for those things. But as far as having a city that's really rich in coal, I had one that needed a coal plant, and I didn't have any coal in that city, so I was able to support myself with my other city.
My city's actually doing pretty well on wind. I'm surprised. I started building solar panels, and those are working. Those are okay, but the wind ones are actually working really well. So I've kind of been sticking with that. I've got like 3 different locations spread out that's got 4 turbines each, and then one central that's got 8 turbines. So it may seem like a lot, but...
And if you look at the when you start a city, it'll tell you the resources, and wind is one of those. It'll tell you if it's a really kind of a windy region or whatever. Kind of if it's out in the plains, it's going to be a little more windy. But I would say it's more difficult than the old SimCities, because you do have a lot more factors.
Zombie outbreak.
Well, I don't know necessarily that the disasters are harder, but I think, because you're not just looking at your particular city. My city doesn't have a particularly high need for high wealth people, I guess, or whatever. But the region as a whole does, so it's still wanting me to build those high. So trying to figure out how all of the regions work together and support each other, I think, makes it a really deep. Like you can get into it deep if you want to.
I'm still trying to get my city to be a gambling city. Like I've built it up enough, or I'm trying to get it to where I'll just have a constant flow of income to where I can just let off of the building of ambulances or hospitals and stuff like that. I'm almost to the point where I've upgraded all of them to like the bigger size of themselves. So I'm hoping that once I do that, then that will calm all the issues, and I can kind of start because right now all my landscaping's gone. I have nowhere to build anything. So I'm gonna have to like carve out like, okay, this housing district is done. This is gonna be the the casinos, and that's what I'm gonna try and I want to put airports in. I want to put casinos in, and that's what I've already got a couple boat harbors lined out, so those are already in place. And I don't know if they're using those for imports or anything like that, but there are a ton of boats coming in and out of my city all the time. So
now, did you like mine? My second one that I had started, I was doing a lot of mining, and I built my housing right on top of my housing's right on top of where my biggest
oh really?
coal deposit is. So right now I'm just using it for the money, and I think I'm going to switch to try to get tourism. But some of those buildings are huge, so I'm trying to demolish roads and things
Right.
to put this in, and then you've got it's going to take a lot of finagling. And really, I might end up starting another new region and kind of starting from scratch. Now that I kind of know what to look for, I think your first couple cities it's hard because you don't really know what to look at when you're starting your city. But now that you kind of are familiar with your size, and if you kind of have this in mind for what you want your goal to be, go in there and look at where your coal deposits are before you plot
And
out your residential.
Water's another thing. I got lucky on the water thing. Like I just threw my city right in the middle, and all my water, all my water was everywhere else. Like the deepest water was just outside of where my city limits were. So I was like, sweet, I will just drop a couple water facilities right there, and that's it. I've never had a water issue. I'm still running on the one tower and then one water for my entire city. So
That's good.
It turned out got lucky on that one.
Yeah, it is hard. I really would like to get into building a little more artistic type looking cities and things like that. But I think just getting to learn the mechanics of the game first is kind of So.
If you can get the curvy roads to work for you, it's a hard thing to master. But it's not like you don't draw from point A to point B. You draw the curve you want, and then the computer lines up the road. So it does take a little finagling to get that to work, because the first time you do it, you're like, oh, I want the road to be here to here, and I want it to curve. And then you're like, oh, it's not curve. So you actually have to physically drag your mouse out and arc it the way you want it. And sometimes the roads are going to be too sharp, so it's going to tell you that. But you can actually, you've got a little bit of leeway, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. But the next city I want to build, I want one central circle, and then circle after circle after circle, and just build it up from there. I think that would look pretty sweet.
I've seen one like that on there. If you go on their website, you can view people have sent in cities, and they did one because there's a circle. There's a perfect circle road type.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they built.
I think that would be pretty sweet.
Like a hub, like a wagon wheel almost. I think.
And that would be, you could almost as the circles get bigger, you could make each circle have its own trolley and its own bus station or whatever, and it just goes.
That'd be cool.
So then when you look above, it just looks like a giant clock wheel, and all the pieces are turning. I think that looks really neat. I think that would be really cool. That's what I would like to do. But cool. So overall, what do you think? How long do you think you're going to keep playing this, or is it going to be something that you drop after you're going to build another city and then drop it, or?
No, I hope to keep playing it. It's hard to say, but I think there's a lot that you can do with it. I just got to not get burnt out on it.
Right.
That's going to be the key, because I play it all the time.
Right, and that's the one thing that kind of leads into what I want to talk about for my segment, and kind of what I'm upset with this always on service. I like the fact that I can play multiplayer. I don't get me wrong, I like that idea.
What are you talking? I'm sorry.
Always on service. As far Diablo 3 is the exact same way. You can't play offline. You have to have an internet connection.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Same thing with SimCity. You have to have an internet connection. You can't play it. You can't play single. You can play single player, but you still have to have an internet connection, to say the least. If that's the case, if that's what it's going to come down to, just to stop people from if that's to stop people from pirating the game, give me something more. Give me a reason other than this is to stop people from pirating. We want you connected all the time for security purposes. What I would like to see them do for it's not going to SimCity 4 or SimCity, this one is not, it's not going to be able to handle it, because there's it's not going to work. It won't be able to work. But going forward, I would almost like a World of Warcraft type of thing, where everybody, you have this giant world, like it's just like an endless world, and you can, if there's loading screens between, regions or whatever, that's fine. But if you could visit other people's cities, or if you have your friends, like kind of like a clan or almost like a country or whatever, that kind of would be something I would like to see going forward, is a little bit more connectivity, not just, I like the idea of, like you said, the 16 different users or whatever, but it still feels so artificial because you're looking at a giant flat piece of land, and there's, it's just a cutout piece of land. I don't feel connected. And with that, you can, other things can happen, like maybe real world events happen, whether you can travel to space or whatever, and that could be an expansion pack, kind of like what they do with WoW, where they've got these different, like the Mists of Pandaria and Lich King and all that stuff, where it just things that affect the world, like maybe the economy is a little bit you can work the economy in with everybody around you. I just don't feel that type of connectivity when I'm playing my game with you and with your coworker. It's like, okay, every once in a while I'll notice, like, oh, hey, look, there's someone's fire truck coming from the other city. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's really cool, because the problems that I'm running into with, for God knows whatever reason, my fire trucks can't get to the fire because of the traffic.
Now, I will say, in response to that, they've created like a little, if you notice when you're playing, in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, there's like a little chat bubble.
Mm-hmm.
What they would like people to do, I think, is more or less, I've kind of seen them say in like their advertising or whatever, if you need more, places to ship your freight to, ask your friend who's online to build some more commercial zones. So like they kind of want you more like talking together and building together, I think is kind of what the aim is. They do have like the online leaderboards and stuff like that for people who like maybe made the most money in metal shipping that day or whatever the case is. But I think they really kind of want you to, I think, build together, really work together more. It's just more not cooperative. It's really just not very forced. Like, it really doesn't make you do it, I guess. I don't
know.
Which is maybe why you don't feel as connected. I don't know.
I would just, I don't want a complete stranger to come in and just bulldoze my entire town because they can. I would like them to be able to come in and, while I'm online, if they want to, if they can build things, we can build things together or whatever and communicate. We just can't do that with the plot system that they've got set up. So I don't know. Going forward, I think it's a very rough idea, but like if they were to, refine it and tune it, it could definitely turn into something. If they take the WoW experience and apply it to SimCity, that would be awesome. Same thing goes with, Diablo 3 was a disaster because, to be quite honest, I think that game was built for consoles, so they only allowed 4 people in a game at a time. I think if that game was more like...
I didn't know you thought it was a disaster. I thought the game went over well.
I like the game. I like the game itself. The online service is terrible. Like, I can only play with 3 other people at a time. It's, I can't link up with multiple like strangers at a time. It's 1 through 4, and that's because it was, in my opinion, designed for a console like Xbox or PlayStation. That would only be able to handle 4.
It's coming out on the PS4.
I know, on the PS3. That's what I'm saying. So
3? I thought it was on the 4.
Well, both of them.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, if you're gonna do this online, if we're gonna do this online always connected thing, I want a reason for it. Real world disasters happening in real time. Not just across, my city or whatever. Maybe because I've never heard any kind of rumblings from your region that happened. I had a UFO come today. Oh, did you? But here's the thing.
And I didn't actually even see the UFO. I just saw someone's little speech bubble go, "Little green men," and like it said UFO sighting, and but no, nothing happened bad.
Oh, that's weird.
It was weird.
But like the thing is, like I don't hear anything about that over in your city, and like while things are going on in my city, like I wish something was happening in your city.
Well, apparently your police protection is bad, or your jails are overflowing, because it always is telling me that your town is relieved that the string of arsonists or that this certain like burglar is coming to my town.
Really? Oh,
okay. Yes.
Okay, well.
Yeah, apparently your overcrowded jails are leading to
high crime rates. Yeah, I know.
Coming to my area.
Oh, wait, so they are actually coming to your area?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
okay.
It says.
Well, that's a little
yeah,
bit
it'll
better.
say
I mean,
it says the city of Twain is relieved as the whatever criminals head towards Storybrooke, whatever my town's called. So, yeah.
Okay, so that does answer kind of like that question of linking the two. But see, the thing is, like, it doesn't happen enough. Like, I would like a weather report or something like that, like wind conditions or whatever, or water level if you're, more focused on, like your water sources or whatever. I don't know. It just seems like want a little bit more, I guess.
There is a wind map.
Right, I know. No,
okay.
I know there's a wind map, but I just like those updates. So if they like, for instance, since my city is mostly powered on wind, having like, the past 7 days, having like a forecast or whatever for that. Like, okay, so I know the next the last 7 days were terrible. The next 7 days are terrible. Maybe I should start looking at other types of power, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitching a bitch.
No,
so I don't know.
Ideas.
Ultimately, I would just like more of the connectivity instead of just like I would like a little bit better community around it, I guess. Just my opinion. So
and maybe it'll get there. I mean, because it is online, they do have the opportunity to patch and update and do things like that. So you never know what might be in store.
I mean, it would be sweet if they're just like, okay, here's a giant map, or here's a server that has a wide open map. You can build as big as you want, wherever you want. Anybody can come in and build. Pull out, plot your stuff out here. So anyway, that's my little tidbit on always online stuff. So cool. Well, you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think I'm good.
The Hobbit came out today.
And Les Mis comes out Friday.
Might have to pick that up. I haven't actually haven't seen either one of those movies, and those were both two movies we were like, oh, we're gonna go see those in theaters.
Yeah, we were dying to see them with lack of funds and time.
And before you know it, they're out on Blu-ray. So.
Honestly, I would almost just rather order Chinese, sit in the comfort of my own home, and watch a movie.
Don't talk about food. I'm starving.
Oh, there's plenty of food upstairs.
So anyway, well, it was fun, guys. This was episode 156.
Wow, it revolved all around my topics. I mean, yours linked into mine.
That's what I want to talk about. I mean,
interesting.
I really didn't have much to add to yours as far as the gameplay goes. I enjoy the game. It's a lot of fun. First 20 minutes of it sucked.
Well, because you were kind of clueless jumping into it. Well, you didn't because you have to. That's the other thing. You have to play under my account.
Oh yeah, fuck that. That's so stupid.
Yeah, Origin, the EA like PC server, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what to call it. Their program that you have. While it's nice in that I can access all my games right there. Like The Sims 3 that I have on my other PC. As soon as I uploaded Origins, that showed right up. It's it's nice that all this stuff's kind of saved out there. The bad thing about it is that game that my new Sim, those games are registered to my account.
Right.
And so
even if I'm on your computer using
this,
I can't play it. I have to download it. Yeah, I can't have my own account, which sucks.
And I understand the whole like piracy. That is another thing against the piracy and wanting people to have multiple copies of the game. But even if they just said like, even if you're in the same household or play on the same computer, maybe like a $5 service fee or whatever to play. Like I could even see maybe doing that. And I would probably pay $5 if you had a game on your computer and I wanted to play it under my name so I could get the achievements under my name and all that business.
Right.
I could see paying $5 to want to do that, but it's I don't know.
Or the fact that you're offline and I'm on the same computer should warrant me to be able to play that stupid game.
It should.
But anyway, and again, that is why I will.
EA's.
No, it's not. It's not EA. I think that's across the board as far as PCs go.
Well, that is. I mean, that in particular is EA. That's their.
The EA CEO stepped down too this past week.
Yeah, they did. Well, I mean, like, you could get on my computer and log into your account of WoW. We could have one copy of WoW for one computer. You could have 2 accounts going.
Right, but you can't play at the same time, though.
No.
Right.
But we couldn't play at the same time on my computer for SimCity either.
Right. So.
But anyway.
Anyway, all right, guys. Well, we'll be back next Tuesday at 10 o'clock or right around 10 o'clock. Actually, it should be at 10 o'clock because
you won't have to work.
Well, knock on wood, I won't have to work. But my work week starts tomorrow, and I've already put in 20 plus hours. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
So anyway.
Bedtime. Woohoo.
Yeah, bedtime. So we'll be back next week, 10 o'clock. We're trying to get the YouTube channel up and running. I still haven't had a chance. We're recording the video feed from Ustream. The first recording didn't go so well because the audio is a little laggy. So the video feed was a little ahead of its audio counterpart. But we're trying to work that out. I'll work on it this weekend, try and get that fixed. So it's definitely not going to be fixed for this podcast, but we will get it fixed. Otherwise, you can go to our podcast page, ballandchainpodcast.podbean.com, to download all of our past episodes and kind of catch up. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there. You can leave a comment, go ahead and download it, or you can stream it right from your like phone or whatever, or iPad or whatever. So have fun with that. We've got a pixelation that's in the works. It's coming April 13th.
Not at B-Dubs.
Not at B-Dubs because they're already packed. So whatever, that's fine. We'll just do it here. We'll do it in the garage, like good old times. We'll either order some pizza or cook out or something like that.
Hopefully it's not really cold.
It shouldn't be too bad. We'll see.
It could be.
We'll see. So we're going to have a Magic tournament, and we'll have some games that go up and running, maybe get some Rock Band in there. We haven't played Rock Band in a while, so I've got an itch to do a little bit of 5 in the afternoon. Anyway, so we will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.